Hello children, welcome again to another class of English and Grammar. Today children we are going to start with a simple past tense chapter. So first of all, let us understand what simple past tense means. So simple past tense means actions that have already taken place at some time in the past. That means actions that have already been done. So let us look at the examples that I have written over here. The first example is I am late. So if you have a look at the sentence, we have the helping verb am. This shows us that this sentence is in the present tense form. But if I need to change it into the past tense form, I will need to change the verb or the helping verb. So what do I do to change it into the past tense? I change am and I write was. I was late. This sentence shows me that about an action that was done earlier. I was late earlier, but now I am not. So this sentence is an example of the past tense. Now, how do we change sentences, or how do we make simple past tense sentences? So the first thing to remember is that we add ed to the verbs. For example, we have a word that is written here, that is walk, W-A-L-K. So certain words we need to add ed to it to form the past tense form. So when I added ed, I got walked, which shows that I have already done the action. Next, we also add d to certain words. For example, I have dance. If you look at the verb, it ends with a E. So what I do? I add D to it and I change it into the past tense form. Next, there's another rule that we need to know about is about words that end with Y. So what do? We remove the word, the alphabet Y, and instead of Y, we place I. And then we follow the rule in the above two sentences, that is add D or ed to the verb. For example, we have a verb that is in the present tense form, that is cry. So what did I do? I removed Y and instead of Y, I added I, and then according to the rule, I added ed. So I have cried. The next word over here is say. This also ends with the alphabet Y. So I removed Y and instead of Y, what did I do? I used I and then I added D to it to form the past tense verb of it. Now there are certain verbs that do not use the D or the ED form, but there are alphabets that are changed in them. For example, the word blow. We removed O and we added E to it to form the past tense form. Next we have rise. In this also, there are certain changes of the alphabets and then we get the past tense form, that is rise. In rise, I removed I and I used O. So I got rose. There are certain words that do not use the D or the ED form, or alphabets are not changed in that. But the words remain same in the V1 form and in the V2 form. For example, we have the word put. When we need to write it in the past tense form, we use the same word. We do not bring changes to it. Likewise, we have hit. So the past tense of hit and the present tense is the same. Then we have read. But when we say this word in the past tense form, we use the same alphabets, but we say read. Now children, let us have a look as to how we are going to change the simple present tense words into the past tense form after knowing and learning these rules. Now the first one is break. The first verb that we have is break. We need to change this word into the past tense form. So we know that we cannot apply D or ED. We cannot remove the alphabet Y or write the same word. So we need to change certain alphabets to change it into the past tense form. So break becomes broke. Next we have the alphabet as hit. So since we already know that there are certain words that do not bring any change to it, they remain the same in the past tense and the simple present tense. We write it as it is. Next we have sing. In this, we change the I alphabet and we write A instead of I, and we write the rest of the alphabets, and instead of sing, we have sang. Likewise, over here we have try. This word ends with a Y. So we remove the Y and we write I instead of the Y. And then we add ED to it. And then we have the word try. Now we have the word leave. So we know that certain words need to bring changes. We cannot apply any alphabets to them, but we need to change them. So we have leave. Instead of leave, we have left. Next we have carry. Now again this word ends with a Y. So we remove the Y, and instead of the Y, we write I. And we apply ED. We add ED to it and bring it into the past tense form. So carry becomes carried. Now children, let us have a look at the next question. So we have fill in the blanks with the past tense. So in the bracket, if you see, I have written some words over here which are in the present tense form. But while writing the answer, we need to change these words into the past tense form. So let us have a look at the first question. The boy dashed the bell. So since we know the rules and we know the verb table, so let us see what is the past tense of ring. So ring becomes rang. So the answer is the boy rang the bell. That means this action was done some time back. The next is I dashed a dozen apples. So if I write buy over here, this sentence is a simple present tense sentence, but I need to change it into the past tense form. For that, I need to change the verb into the V2 form. So buy will become bought. B-O-U-G-H-T. So I bought a dozen apples. This shows an action that was done sometime back. The child dashed a letter. So what's in the bracket? Write. Now I need to change write into the past tense form. And what is the past tense of write? The past tense of write is wrote. So what's my answer? The child wrote a letter. Next I have I dash a song. In the bracket we have the word sing. So what is the past tense of sing? The past tense of sing is sang. So I sang a song. S-A-N-G. Now children, let us look at the third question that we have. Change the sentences into the simple past tense. So when we have the sentence here, they are all in the simple present tense. So let us have a look at the sentence. They pay their staff well. So in this sentence, we need to change the helping verb or the main verb. But we have only the main verb in this sentence. And what is it? It is pay. So what do? We write the subject as it is, and then we change the verb that is in the present tense to the past tense. So pay will become paid. And then we write the rest of the sentence. So they paid their staff well. Now let us have a look at the next sentence. The cook gives us food. So in this sentence, the cook is the subject and gives is the verb. So now what we need to do? We need to change the verb into the past tense form. So let us write the subject first. The cook. Now we need to write the verb. So instead of gives, we will write gave. The cook gave us food. Now let us have a look at the next sentence. He carries a bag to the shop. So the verb in the sentence is carries, which needs to be changed into the past tense form. So first we write the subject, he, and instead of carries, we will write carried. I-E-D, carried a bag to the shop. So I hope children you have understood how to change your words from the simple present tense into the past tense and use them in the sentences or in the fill in the blanks given to you. Thank you.